this wonderful Wednesday. It's so good to be with all of you today. Let's take a few breaths to just settle in and center and breathe in and out through your nose. And feel the sensation of breathing. Bring your awareness to where you feel the breath most. It might be in your belly. It might be at your heart. It might be the air coming in and out through your nose. There's not a right or a wrong. Let's be clear on that. No right or wrong. And then I want you to imagine that the breath is penetrating or spreading throughout your whole body. So you might take that point of focus and then imagine it expanding into your neck, your belly, your chest, your head, your ears, down your legs into your feet, and into your arms and hands. And all 10 fingers. Now we know when we focus on a body part and we breathe and we bring our awareness and focus to that area, it changes things. Literally, you'll feel the circulation different. And when they look at this on scans, they can see that the sensation, the circulation, the warmth, the cold, the temperature does shift just by focusing there. Breathe in and breathe out. Breath is in and breath is out. Maybe focusing on a body part that feels really good to you. Like, so choose a part of your body that feels really, really good. Or at least there's no pain and it's neutral. It's comfortable. Take a few breaths there. And if this feels available to you, take your focus to either a hand or a part of your body that's feeling a little uncomfortable today, and breathe there. Take your focus there. Notice how your mind, your focus may shift from the breath to thoughts about how this body part feels. And with the mindfulness, we keep returning again and again to either the place of comfort, the whole body sensation, or this place that we want to send a little love and breath to. So this is a technique you can do any point in your day. And we use the yoga as a way to bring the mindfulness, the awareness of the sensation to this area. And potentially a way to imagine the sensation shifting. For instance, if you have a body part that feels really luscious, wonderful, you might imagine that spreading, that sensation spreading throughout your body. Or in opposition, you might notice that one part of your body doesn't feel so good, and yet as you focus, you're able to imagine that dissipating and lessening, expanding outward to the space around you. Let's start to circle on our hips one way a few times, keeping our awareness on sensation of the body as we move. So we can practice these techniques moving or in stillness, and take the circle the other way. Breathing in and breathing out. and return to center. Circle the shoulders around and about, so lift them towards your earlobes, back, down, forward. Nice massage for the shoulders. Around and about, and then reverse it. Circle forward, down, back, up. Just like this. Breathe in and breathe out. Return to center. Turn your palms forward so your shoulder blades are coming onto the back. This is anatomical neutral. And then drop your right ear down towards your right shoulder. You may take your right fingertips and just give a gentle touch to the side of the head. We're not like pushing it down or anything. It's just a gentle touch. Breathe in and breathe out. And then inhale, head rises up. And let's exhale. Take the left ear down towards your left shoulder, and maybe use your left hand to encourage the stretch on the right side of your neck. Breathing in and breathing out. And breath is in. Notice how the sensation changes as the neck is there, it bent to the side just a little bit more. Then we help the head lift back up. Drop your head down towards your heart, your collarbone. And then inhale, lift the head back up. Exhale, chin down towards chest. And inhale, lift it back up. Let's circle the right arm around and about and allow the arm to flow. Notice which part of your body is leading this movement. Notice how the torso, your spine can even become part of this movement. Maybe you feel like the elbow is leading the movement. And then bring your awareness to your hand and let the hand follow the rest of the movement. So from the shoulder, the arm, the elbow, and the wrist. Allow the hand to flow. It follows. We're releasing any holding that you may be feeling in the hand or the fingers. And let's switch sides. So left arm moving towards the right. This should feel good. You can make the movement small, gradually a little bit bigger. You might feel the movement down the side of your body, along your rib cage. And again, movement. Notice which part comes first, how the shoulder participates in this movement, the elbow, the wrist, the hand, and the fingers. And then come back to neutral. Let's lift the right arm skyward. Reach up high. So we're going to get really long through the right side of the body. And then exhale, slow motion, arm lowers down. Notice how the right side feels compared to the left. Let's inhale, lift the right arm once again. Bring your thumb on the inside of the palm. Wrap your fingers around your thumb and circle the wrist. You might gaze at your hand as it slowly lowers down. And then reverse the circle and lift the arm back up. Ooh, I'm feeling something right around there. Just notice if anything's of discomfort, let it go. Let's spread the fingers. Relax the shoulder. Bring your thumb on the inside of the palm. Open it up. Then the index finger. Open it up. Middle finger. Oh, open it back up, ring finger, lift it up, and pinky. Notice how this isn't so easy. Make a fist, open it up, release the arm down. Let's circle the shoulders. This is definitely my favorite movement. I just think it feels so good. Let's sit tall and lift the left arm up. Lift it higher, lift it as high as you can, like you want to get that balloon that's floating away. And then relax the shoulder down. Exhale, flowing the arm in slow motion downward towards your lap. And then inhale, it rises up again. Relax the shoulder. Make a fist, wrap your fingers around your thumb and circle. Circle it around and about. Really feel the motion. You might close your eyes to really focus on the movement. And then up, take it back towards the sky. Lift the arms, spread the fingers wildly, and then release that. So we spread them and then just release it. Take the thumb on the inside of the palm, open it up, index finger. I find this hard, just by the way. This is hard. And then lift the index finger, middle finger down, open it up, ring finger. Notice how the other fingers move when you do this. I mean, I would never realize if I didn't do stuff like this. Open it up and then the pinky. See how my ring finger wants to move with the pinky? It's hard to isolate it. And then open it up. Let's flow the arm down. Circle the shoulders once and again. And then let's lift our right knee up towards our navel, towards our chest. Pull it on in. Lift tall. And your fingers are interlaced in front of the shin if that works for you. If not, you can have your hands behind the thigh. Grow tall and then push your shin into your hands or your thigh into your hands as you get even taller. Feel yourself in the center of your sitting bones. And let's exhale and let the leg go. Extend the leg in front of you. Push the heel down, toes upward. Spread the toes. No need to look at them. Point the toes away. Pull them back, press them away, pull them back, and bring the heel back in. Other side, lifting the left knee. Give your leg a big hug. Feel your shoulder blades come onto your back. And imagine that you have a book on top of your head and you don't want it to drop. And push your shin away from you or your thigh into your hands. And feel how much taller you get from just pressing into a body part. Breathe in, breathe out, lower the leg down, and drag the heel forward. Reach the toes up to the sky and towards you, and then point them away. Lift them up and towards you. Notice how you feel a stretch behind the leg. And in front of the leg, just notice it. Pull it upwards and bring the heel back underneath your knee. Now, let's do some opening of the hand. So a nice thing to do is really give each finger a hug. So let's use our left hand to the right thumb and give it a hug. So not a squeeze, 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 but a nice hug with your hand. And then feel like you're providing traction and the thumb is getting longer as you pull it up, 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 and you'll feel a little release in the joint. Anytime anything doesn't feel right to you, let it go. Then you might pull the thumb towards you or inward and feel that stretch. So you'll feel a stretch around here. And then let it go. And let's do the next finger. So this is another thing you could do while you're watching TV or movie. Hug the index finger, give it some traction. What's also nice is if someone does it towards you, but you got to know that they have a nice touch if they're going to do it for you. And then you're hugging it and then pulling the index finger towards your heart. And you'll feel the stretch around here. Do it for every finger. Everyone, you might notice one feels tighter than another. You're pulling it towards you. Once you give it that big hug, release. Do the ring finger. Ooh, that one feels tight. So notice one is going to feel tighter than another. And then the pinky. Give that pinky a nice hug and pull it on in. And then let it go. Shake it. Shake it. And then let's turn the fingertips downward like it's a claw. And then you can use your left hand to angle the fingers down. Now you want to make sure the shoulder relaxes. So let that shoulder relax. This is about this hand and arm. And then turn the fingers up, the palm away like you're going to push into a wall in front of you. And you can use your left hand to pull the fingers towards you and really get that thumb out to the side. That will stretch. A lot of people keep the thumb in, but open it up. And then shake that out. And then with your hand in front of you, you don't have to stand. I'm just trying to make sure you see this. Turn the fingers out towards the right and then swish it back in and inward. So we're going out and in. Yeah, out and in. And then shake it out, let it go. Let it go. Yup. We have to treat both sides of the thing. And you're going to notice I'm right-handed. This hand's going to be a little bit tighter in general. This is the hand I text with, but we type with both, right? So give each one a stretch now. So it's actually traction. We're hugging the joint and then gently pulling away. I can feel this all along the whole hand and fingers. And then do each side. I mean, each finger. Hug it, pull it towards you. Breathe while you're doing this. So you could do this when you're standing in line or sitting around. Maybe you're at an appointment. Notice I'm pulling this one back, the middle one, and I'm feeling it all along the hand. Next finger. And then pinky. Pinky gets his time. Then let's turn the hand down like a claw and gently use your other hand to angle the fingers downwards and then up, and use your right hand to pull the left fingers towards you. Make sure this thumb is opening up to the side. So thank you for this request for the hands, because they often get ignored, just like our toes. You know I have a foot fetish. And then let's turn the fingers outwards towards the left. So this is an external rotation down the whole arm. And then bring the fingers up and inward and back outward and back upward and inward. Let's do both. In and out and in and out and in and out, all the way until you make that T and you feel like you're pushing the wall away from you on both sides. Then extend your fingers long. Relax the shoulders. Feel your shoulder blades come onto your back. So you're reaching away, and at the same time, you're gently pulling the shoulder blades towards each other. Curl the claws downward towards Actually, they're going down and towards your wrist. And then let that go. Let that go. Let's do a warrior two to a side angle. I'm going to show you something with this, which is why I pulled it out, but we'll get to that. Now, right knee's out to the side, left knee's either forward, maybe out like, maybe like this. Make your adjustments on the chair for whichever one is right for you. We don't want to torque this knee, and we want this knee over the ankle and the heel. So get in your position for your warrior two. And then let's float our breathe in and breathe. And then eventually find this bent elbow above you and towards the side. Feel the shoulder blade on the back. And then start to reach to the side and pull the elbow back and reach and pull it back and reach again. Arm is over ear. Feel your shoulder blades on the back. Let's lift the arm skyward. Maybe you gaze at your fingertips. Maybe you don't. Then bring it back over the ear. Elbow can be bent or straight. Maybe you lift the bottom arm, push down through your feet, pull your belly in and up, and the bottom of your chest is angling upwards. Whoop. Push down through your feet, rise up, exhale, hands at the heart. Notice how your body's feeling now. Let's push the fingertips into each other. I was taught this by a colleague of mine. You're pressing your fingers into each other. She called it spider push-ups. And then the ridges come in towards each other and then away, push. Feel each of your fingertips pushing into the others. We press in, we pull away. It's like you're cupping your hand. So we're cupping the hand as we press fingertips into each other. Then ridges come in, but the palms stay apart. Push them in, fingers in, palms apart, making that cup. It's like a suction cup in the middle of there. Then press your fingers in and your palms in and turn your hands outward. So it looks like this. And then maybe the elbows come in and maybe they don't. Then take your fingertips in and your elbows out to the side, and then bring it back in, elbows in, arms outward. We're still in that warrior two pose, arms out to the side, bring your left hand down, your right arm up. Now you can have the hand on the side of the chair or maybe on the side of your hip as you find this little back bend, side bend. Some people like to support their head, which I really do, with my hand, elbows up, and come back upwards, back into T. Bring that right foot back to meet the left. Let's open up the knees out to the side like we're doing a butterfly. And then take your feet, press them down, push the inside of the feet down, knees together, then open it back up. And kind of do this one way and then the other way. Knees towards each other, pushing inside of the feet down. Knees away from each other, pushing the outside of the feet down. A few times as you walk your feet out into goddess pose. Arms out in T. Big hug. Give yourself a hug. One arm's on top. Big, 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 big hug. Yes. Say, I love you. Open it up. Bring the elbows towards each other. They may or may not touch. Then lifting the elbows skyward. Open it up. Feel your shoulder blades on your back. Pull the elbows back towards each other. Lift them up and press the forearms away. Open it up and release the hands, and let's move the feet back towards each other. Take a stretch by pressing your heels away from you. Toes are up. Point the toes away and towards you, and point them away, and circle the ankles one way and then the other. And feet back, heels under knees. And we will open up into warrior two on the opposite side, the left side. So right knee can be forward, leg can be forward, or you can take it anywhere. It could be like this. What we're doing when we take this stance is there's going to be an inner thigh stretch. So it might be here, it might be here, it might be here. Then adjust your hips on the chair and sit tall. We're stacking our shoulders over our hips. It's easy to go like that. In fact, you might want to switch forward or side to side a bit so you can feel that. You'll notice how the weight changes in your hips and maybe your feet. Then arms lift up, relax the shoulders. Breathe in and breathe out. Lift the arms skyward and then open them up. Bring the palms towards each other. Lift the arms up. Push the fingertips in towards each other. Open into T. Gaze over your front hand. Bring the forearm to the left thigh and circle the right arm around and about. Now make sure this bottom shoulder is externally rotating as you do this. Eventually find the bent elbow over your ear or head, and then press it away and towards the left. Pull the elbow towards the right and extend over the ear. A few times as you breathe in and you breathe out. Then eventually find your stretch. So you might feel a big stretch on the side of your body. Maybe you lift the bottom arm. Breathe in and breathe out. Inhale, rise up, rise up. Let's find that back bend. So hand can be at your hip or the side of the chair if your knee is forward. Lift the left arm up and find that little side back bend. Maybe you're supporting it with your head. I mean, oh boy, what just came out of there? Your hand behind your head. Sometimes I don't know what's coming out. Lift up and take that tiny side back bend. Breathe in, breathe out. Inhale to center, arms wide. Give yourself a hug the other way. So whichever arm was on top, switch it up. Big hug. Wrap your fingers around and maybe give yourself a little massage along the shoulder blades. Ooh, that feels good. You'll notice where you feel some tension. Release your hands and bring it back in. And so now let's do a little bit I want to show you what it's like. Now, if you have a table in front of you, you could use that. I've got this thing here. It's actually used for balance, but I'm going to pretend it's a tabletop. So you could do this too. For now, when we do yoga on the ground, I know sometimes it hurts your wrists. Some of the different examples for that. And I'll remember to show the tabletop. So pretend I've got a table in front of me. Put your hands on the table and then claw the table with your fingertips and feel the strength in your hands. Push your fingertips into the tabletop, and then it's like you're isometrically pulling your fingers towards each other and feel the strength. That suction cup comes back into play here. So push them down, feel the strength, let it go. And then we do it again. Push the fingertips down, pull them towards each other. So it's like you're pulling the index finger towards the thumb and all the fingers towards your wrist, and then release and let that go. Another thing you can do is push your hands into a tabletop and lift the underside of your wrist up. I'm going to turn this way. I think this might show better. But when we do this on the floor or on a tabletop, you're pushing your fingertips down and lifting the underside of the wrist up, and you've got a suction cup there. So press down, lift up. What we're trying to do is keep that carpal tunnel in alignment and in strong hands. Pressing down, lifting up, pushing finger pads into table. And that can be done on the floor too when we do our floor.
We can't see you.
You can't see it? All right, so this is a hard one to demo. Pretend this is my table. Fingertips push down, underside of the wrist lifts up, underside of the arm lifts up. Can you see that? So it's down, and then we lift up. What you're feeling is a suction cup underneath your hand and it's really.
Can you face, sorry, we still can't see you. Your elbow is blocking your hand from that angle. So sideways, truly sideways.
How about side view?
Thank you.
Tips down, suction like that. We're building strength. And what the carpal tunnel doesn't like is when we push down like that. So this is teaching us to lift it up. Lift it up. It's not all that different than these spider push-ups, because we're cupping here, and then it comes together, and we cup, and it comes together, and the elbows relax. The other thing I really like, my husband keeps it in the car, is that thing you squeeze. And that really does help over time. So every time we get in the car, we do, a few 5 or 10 on the right, 5 or 10 on the left. That thing you squeeze and it gets stronger. I got to figure out the name of that, but it's like a hand grip thing. And of course, squeezing a ball is nice too, or playing. I know a lot of occupational therapists use clay, so that would be fun. How about a pottery class? That could be fun. So you want to use your hands. They don't like when we keep them still. We just like the body loves movement. Let's rub the fingers together, and then we're going to move towards some standing poses. And place your chair or be near a wall so we can do some cat-cows standing, and then some wall dog. And it looks like this. Now, here's another piece of this, right? If the hands are going on the chair, we want to claw that chair so that we're not dumping into the wrist. We don't want to dump. We want to get strong on these ridges and fingers so that we're not dumping here. Dumping meaning pushing down on it. So when your hands are on the chair, you want to make sure you're pushing your fingertips down, or you could hold the side of the chair. That is certainly an option. What we don't want to do is dump right here, so all the weight is going there, and that hurts. Let's take our whichever hand position you choose. We're going to round our spine into cat, feet are parallel, gaze towards the navel, chin towards the chest. You can also do this pose seated, of course, and then reverse it. Shoulder blades come together, sitting bones rise. Now I'm clawing the chair, so I'm not dumping into the wrist. And in fact, you could play with lifting your wrist up here. So rounding, here's my wrist totally lift up, palms barely touching. And then reverse it. Reverse it, sitting bones up, shoulders up. Cat and cow pose. Breathe in and breathe out. And walk your feet back about hip distance apart or maybe wider for your balance as you stretch your arms. No pain in the shoulders. If there's too much or if it's too much sensation, bend your elbows. Don't go so far back. Let's bend our knees and take the sitting bones back and feel a nice stretch through the spine. Push your feet down Push your toe pads down, just like we talk about our fingertips, we're pushing our toe pads down. And we're pushing down through the big toe mound. And then walk your feet back towards the chair. Lift on up, hands at the heart. Notice how your body's feeling now. Just notice. And then we're going to go back at it, hands on the chair. So we don't want to dump into the hand no matter what pose we do. We're going to go into a lunge so you can hold the side of the chair, but be real careful not to dump into the wrist. So really use your fingers for some strength here. I'm pushing my thumbs down and my fingers are curling around the chair. Also take a break. If it's too much, come on out of it. If you've got pain in your hand, then that's not going to help your lunge. Now, another thing you can do is have your fingertips like this. As long as your balance feels okay, we're going to keep the right foot forward and the left back. So now look at, I'm not even dumping into the wrist. I'm on my fingertips. And this is how I believe I got strong hands over time. Now we're going to bend the back knee and then straighten it and bend it and straighten it and breathe in and breathe out. Bend the knee and then maybe swish your hips to the right and then to center and a little bit to the left. Come back to center. Step your back foot to meet your right, hands at your heart. Breathe in, breathe out. You might shake your hands out before we go to the other side. You might open and close if you feel like any stiffness has come in. It's okay. Give it a little break. And then we go back in. So I'm going to keep the fingertips here, but for balance, you might be holding the side of the chair. Left foot stays forward, right leg goes back. Lengthen your stance, widen your stance, bend your knees, your back knee, and then slowly straighten it. And bending and straightening and bending and straightening. One more bend, straighten. Let the hips sway to the left, back to center, towards the right. Sway to the left and center. And step your back foot to meet your front. And we are back in our mountain pose. Mountain pose. Now you can have the chair to the side or in front of you. And we will do a nice wide-legged side bend. So take your feet wide as you're comfortable. It doesn't, I mean, mine are about mat width apart. Do what's right for you. Hold on to the chair, lift the right arm up. Let's take a side bend towards the left. Notice how your ribs might want to come forward. Pull them back. Maybe the elbows bent. Breathe in. Breathe out. Press down evenly through your feet. Notice if the weight's coming to the outside of the feet. Then push down through them and rise up. And lower the arms down for the other side. So now I'll show you with the chair in front. There's no reason you need to go wherever is safest, feels safest for you for your balance. Right hand's on the chair, left arm lifts up. Side bend towards your right. Feel your feet equal pressure down. Nice side bend, feeling the lengthening on the left side of the body. Push down through your feet, rise up, and hand lowers down. Let's do some heel lifts. And you may or may not place the block in between your thighs. It's kind of fun to do it both ways. This is a very wide block, so my feet are kind of wide, but we're hugging the block if it's in between your thighs. Feel the weight in your feet. It should feel about balanced from front to back. And so we don't want to be back. We don't want the weight back there. And we don't want it too far forward. We want the weight in your feet to be about here. Then, keeping that nice tall stance, so lifting through the crown of our head. Notice how fingertips are on chair, but they're not grabbing the chair. Then we're going to inhale and lift tall. Try to keep your hips from doing this. Let me see if I can exaggerate that for you. A lot of people come like this, and their hips are moving forward like that. We don't want that. So lower the heels back down. If that happens, bring your hips back, then angle them down, hug your block. If you hugged your block today, then feel the weight centered in your feet. Find a gazing point that's in front of you about horizon level. Lift upwards. Feel your strong legs. Notice how you're pressing down through the big toe mounds. Gaze is soft. And then exhale, slowly lower back down. Breathe in and breathe out. And breath is in and breath is out. We're going to go up again. Now this time, if you want to play with lifting one hand or the other or both, feel free. So it's going to look like this. I will show you. Feet are hip distance apart. They're pushing down. You can hug the block and feel a tone in your hips if you have the block in between your thighs. Then we're going to inhale and lift tall. Find a gazing point. Maybe lift one hand. You can place it on your heart. You can just lift it up like a half prayer. You could lift it up overhead. You're finding that spot to stare at. You might even come to that pressure into the fingertips and notice how that feels and impacts your balance. And then exhale and slowly lower it down. So we have to do this like it's playtime. We cannot take ourselves too seriously. We set ourselves up so we're safe. We're against a wall. We've got a chair. We check in with how we're feeling, and then we go upward. So here we go. We're going to inhale and lift up. Maybe we lift an arm. We hug that block. We tone our pelvic floor. We feel the hips tone. Breathe in. Breathe out. Maybe the other arm lifts. Maybe it doesn't. Maybe both hands are on the chair and you're hugging your inner ankles towards each other. And then exhale and slowly lower down. Notice how the body feels now. I'm going to take this block out. And let's do a triangle pose. How about a triangle pose? So I'm going to place the chair to my right. Open up wide. Now here's another situation. So no matter what we're doing, we can pay attention to our hands. So here's an example. I'm going to turn the right toes to the right. Come into my pose. Now I can dump down and grab the chair like that. Or I can pull the belly in and up and just have the fingers touching the chair. So we don't want to squeeze the chair for dear life or dump into that wrist. Doesn't feel good on the shoulder, doesn't feel good on the hand or the wrist. So you could cup your hand here and push the fingertips down. Then push down firmly through the feet. Lengthen through your spine, maybe roll your shoulders up and back. And maybe you take the left arm forward or towards the sky. This pose is all about making long lines. Breathe in and breathe out. And breath is in and breath is out. We're going to push down through our feet. Rise up. Turn all 10 toes forward and walk your feet back in towards each other. Interlace your fingers and push the wrists away from you. Feel that. You know, it is colder and we do feel these sensations in our joints more as the weather changes, depending on where you're at right now. And then pull the knuckles in towards you. Press them away. And pull them in towards you. And press them away. One more time. Breathe in. And breathe out. And then shake it and let it go. And we will do triangle on the other side. Now you could have the chair like this. And your hands on the top of the chair instead of the seat of the chair. Perfectly acceptable. Make sure you're not gripping the chair like that, but it's more of a touch, but it's not, you want to feel stable, but you don't want to dump. So here we are, wide stance, toes out to the left, and grow tall because this pose is all about length. Then bring one hand to the chair. Notice how I'm not even grabbing it, but I've got my palm down on it. And then make sure your shoulders are up and back. Lifting the back arm, the right arm up. You might make adjustments. You might bend the elbow. The arm might be forward. It could be at your hip. Feel lengthening. You want to feel like your neck is extending from your spine. In this pose, a lot of people dump their head like that or pick it up like that, and neither one feels really good. So ask yourself, where does my head and neck feel best and most aligned? You can't see in the mirror, so you gotta feel. Breathe in, breathe out, make length in your body, feel your hips tone, push your feet down, breathe in, breathe out, feel your core, it's engaged here as you push your feet down, feel your toe pads, loosen your fingers, they're not gonna help your triangle pose. And then push down through your feet, lift up, all toes forward, walk it back in. Notice, how does your body feel now? Let's do a forward fold. I'm building a little bit of heat. You guys are making me work today. So let's bring our hands to our hips, or one hand is on the chair. We lift tall. You soften the knees so they're slightly bent, and then start to move your spine forward. Now, if it feels safe and comfortable for you, you might take both hands to your hips. We're lengthening forward, shoulders are up and back. You might take your hands to your hips. Push your hips back and your crown of your head forward. Breathe in, breathe out. You might release the torso, let it go. Hand could still be on chair. And then maybe your head sways to the left and to the right as you breathe in and as you breathe out. Breath is in and breath is out. Inhale, head back to center, pushing down through our feet. Inhale, arms out to the side, at one or both, and hands at the heart. How does the body feel now? Let's do that one more time. We grow tall. Feel your strong legs. Feel your tall spine. Either hold on to the chair, or maybe both arms are down by the side. And then we take them outwards and upwards. And then hands thread down heart center. Maybe one or both hands at your hip. Soften the knees. You're tilting, you're hinging from your hip. Spine's long, shoulder blades are on back. Release down and let it go. Let it go. Release the head, let it go. You might have your hands at your shin. You might have one on the chair. Then we're going to lengthen the spine forward. So hands are either on the thighs or the shins. Lengthen the spine forward. Feel your shoulder blades on your back. Push down through the legs and the feet. Lift up. Arms out to the side. Reach them skyward. Hands at the heart. Breath is in and breath is out. Now we're going to sit down and I want to show you the strap exercise. Ooh, where is my strap? Where is my strap? I had to do something and brought all my straps somewhere. All right, well, maybe I won't show exactly what I was gonna show today. But there are things you can do. Oh, I've got a strap here. So what I want to show you is that you don't have to hold the strap. If your hands are sore, you might do something like this. You make a loop. So you want a strap that makes a nice loop. This actually is a very nice one because it's got a buckle. And it clasps like this. I haven't seen a lot like this, but it's very nice. Because we know the loop is going to stay. Anyway, one of those where the loop is going to stay. Then, seated, we take the strap around 1 foot, and we've got the loop still. And so instead of holding it with my hands to lift the leg, I can put my elbows underneath and do something like this. Now you want to make sure, let me turn to the side. You want to make sure that the loop is long enough so you don't feel like you have to do that and lean forward. Got to get the strap just right. And then we're pushing the foot away as we grow tall and we're getting a stretch in the leg. And you know, I like to put the leg on an ottoman in front of me or a chair or even a few blocks because that's going to help the stretch. But this way, I'm not tensing up my hands. Shoulders are up and back. So we breathe in and we breathe out. And breath is in and breath is out. And then you can turn the leg out and the heel in. But notice, so what happens is a lot of times people, they hold on like this to the strap, the shoulders round forward and the hands are tensed up. So this is helping that so that doesn't happen. Just preventing that whole squeezing business. Because that takes the fun out of it and it really takes the benefit out of it because you're stressing out. Let's do the other side. So other side, strap around foot. And this is, you don't have to do it this way. This is for people whose hands are sore. But I do really recommend, whether your hands are sore or not, that you don't grip the strap. That's the one disadvantage to the strap is people hang on tight because they're afraid that the leg's going to drop or that they can't get the stretch. So we're lifting tall. We're pushing the heel away. Maybe you're resting your heel on something in front of you. Feel your weight centered in your sitting bones. Breathe in and breathe out. And breath is in and breath is out. Soft breath in. Soft breath out as you feel the lengthening in the back of your leg. You may turn the heel in and the toes outward. That's going to get it a little bit different stretch. Breathe in and breathe out. Inhale, toes back up. Release the leg and notice, how does your body feel now? Notice, how does your body feel now? And so find a pose where you can rest for a few moments and feel the sensation. Now, you can turn the palms up in more of a receiving mode, allowing them to relax. Some people are so tense in their hands that it's really hard for them to relax. And that's because they're in pain. So this is a practice. One of my students likes to imagine that she has a baby bird in her hand. And so she can't squeeze it because she doesn't want to hurt the bird. So you could imagine something like that. Sometimes visuals are really helpful, that you have this delicate creature in your palms, shoulders are relaxing, fingers are relaxing, neck is relaxing, head is relaxing, jaws relaxing, eyelids are relaxing. The whole body is relaxing. Breathing in and breathing out. Breathing in and out. And we can end the way that we began by finding a place in your body that feels really comfortable and bringing your focus to that place. Or you could bring your focus to the whole body. The breath is relaxed. We're not controlling it in any way. You just feel the wave and the pulsation of the breath. In this spot of comfort in your body, or maybe you're focusing on the body as a whole. Feel the body as you breathe. Notice the subtlety, the small little movements. Breathing in and breathing out. This is one of the most important practices, is allowing the time for your body to absorb all the movement that you just did. Allow the body to relax, find a little respite, restore before you move on with your day. Feeling the sensation. Breathing in and breathing out. Now end our time together with the palms in front of the heart. Wishing you all a wonderful Wellness Wednesday and everything throughout your week. Namaste, everyone. Let me know if you have any questions or comments.